Hello and welcome Disney Infiniteers. Today we will be taking a look at the new character Finn in Disney Infinity 3.0. Finn is of course the fourth and final character in the Force Awakens playset, and although the movie has now been out for a couple of weeks, we are going to keep this video spoiler free in case you haven't seen it. This however will be the last spoiler free video that we do. And also keep in mind that I consider anything from the trailers to be fair game. And with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get started by taking a look at Finn's background. Finn is, of course, one of the main characters in Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens, and other than the movie and one short story that's set slightly before it, we know very little about the character. So let's go ahead and move on to figure compatibility. Now, Finn is a Disney Infinity 3.0 character, which means he only works in Disney Infinity 3.0. You can't use him in 1.0 or 2.0. He should be forwards compatible like the others, which means he'll work in 4.0 and beyond. In terms of playsets, Finn will work in all three of the Star Wars playsets currently released. That's Twilight of the Republic, Rise Against the Empire, and The Force Awakens. In the last one of those, The Force Awakens, he's available by default. You can use him right from the beginning of the game. In the other two, you have to find his crossover coin before you can use him, and if you need any help with those, we do have videos up. Outside of the playsets, you can still use him in the toy box, and that includes the toy box games like Takeover and Speedway, and we expect that at some point in the near future, toy box artists will start creating toy box levels specifically for him or the Force Awakens characters. So let's go ahead and talk about that most important thing, gameplay. Like the other two Force Awakens heroes, that's Poe Dameron and Rey, his moveset is pretty basic and pretty straightforward. His primary attack is a punch, his secondary attack is a ranged weapon, and his third attack is a decently powerful ranged attack using his gun. Now, while I think both Poe and Rey came across as fairly generic in their designs, Finn does have one very defining attribute that sets him apart from most of the other characters who follow his movesets, and that is that his ranged attack is extremely powerful. When Disney announced this figure at D23 last year, they told us that Finn's ranged attack was the most powerful in the game, and they weren't kidding. Now, when you first get it and you haven't had a chance to put any points into its skill tree, it's not that great. It's fairly generic, it does a decent amount of damage, and it's an okay attack speed. But once you start to scale it up, once you start to put points into it, it becomes very powerful, very fast. As you can see from my gameplay here, it's just rapid fire and each shot does a significant amount of damage. And in addition to that, he can fire a lot of shots before he has to reload. And what this all adds up to is a character who can strike hard, strike fast, and stay out of range of his opponents. But if the enemies do get close, he still does have a decently strong melee attack with a fairly easy to pull off combo that lets him throw a grenade at bad guys for some extra damage. If there's a weak point in this character, it's in his special ability, which isn't, well, it's not special. It's really just another rifle shot that's a little bit more powerful than his regular shot, but beyond that, not much else. I've actually used it several times in this video already, but it looks so similar to his regular attack that you probably haven't even noticed. And while it does do a lot of damage, especially if you build up the power meter and can fire it off in rapid succession, it's just not that visually interesting, and it doesn't distinguish itself from his regular attack, so there's no real thrill in using it. I just feel that his special attack probably could have used a little bit more of attention, something to set it apart from his regular attack. Which shouldn't stop you from using it. I'm using it right now, and you can see how quickly it took that guy out. But if I hadn't told you I was using it just now, would you have known? But let's be clear, complaining about the aesthetics of his special move isn't really that big a deal at the end of the day, especially when you compare him to some of the other Force Awakens characters. And when you break it down, Finn is actually a really good character, regardless of which Star Wars set you're talking about, or even just the Disney Infinity in general. He will make a fine addition to just about anybody's collection. I do have one other small complaint though, and that is that Finn has some of the best lines in the movie. And that doesn't really translate to his character here. He doesn't talk very much in the game, unlike, say, Ultron or Hulkbuster, who you can't get to shut up. Finn and the rest of the Force Awakens characters really don't have that much to say. Now, granted, in the movie, a lot of Finn's lines are contextual. They are based on what other people are doing or saying, and that's what makes them funny. So that doesn't really translate as well to a figure, but I feel like they probably could have gotten at least some good lines in there. And it would probably also help to distinguish his character a little bit more, rather than just being the heavy weapons guy. But at the end of the day, that really is a minor complaint, and it doesn't bring anything down from this otherwise great character. So the bottom line here is, Finn is a great addition to any collection, especially Star Wars collection, and there's really no good reason to not pick him up. And if you really want proof that he is that powerful a character, you should realize that I use this level for most of my character reviews, and this will be the shortest video by a fairly significant margin, because of how fast Finn got through it. So there you have it. That's Finn in a nutshell. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. If you have any thoughts or comments about Finn, please feel free to leave them in the section below. And keep an eye on our channel because we'll have more videos up in the near future. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.